Welcome to the game. This is the main menu of Oblivion. I already selected the optimal settings, so let's get started right away.
I was born 87 years ago. For 65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. I have seen the gates of oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land. This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the Third Era and the final hours of my life.
Okay, so after watching the intro movie, the first thing you need to do is to create a character. Now this game has a very advanced character creation system, but sometimes it's a bit hard to use. So the first decision is to choose your gender, which can be either male or female, and your race. So the Elder Scrolls series has several recurring races that you can select. The first one is the Imperial, which is basically the native race of this game. Then you have the Khajiit, which is kind of like cat people, who are usually thieves. And then you have the Nords, who live in the northern provinces. You have the Orcs, who are the warrior creatures. You have the Red Guards, who live in the western desert areas. Of course not in this game, but other games. And you have the Wood Elves, who are kind of like, they look like Wood Elves in other games. You have the Argonian. It's a kind of unique lizard race to this series. You have the Breton, who are mages essentially. You have the Dark Elves. Now there are lots of Dark Elves in other games as well, but they are unique because of the lore in these games. And you finally have the High Elves, who are expert mages. Yes. So, because this is a nostalgia playthrough essentially, I will try to recreate my old character, the one that I played during my childhood. So I will play as a female Dark Elf. Now I will show some of the main features of the character creation. First of all, you can select your age, which is essentially just a cosmetic change. And now you have the complexion, which means whether you are feminine or masculine looking. The Dark Elves cannot change their eyes, they have unique red eyes. And now you can change your hair. First of all, you can change the style, and it's a unique feature that you can also fine-tune the length. And then you can select from one of the set hair colors, or you can select any hair color. this is not the final one, of course. And then you can change the shape or the tone. Now the possibilities are extremely endless, essentially, but you can easily create monstrous looking horrible characters. So this one is going to be a bit difficult. I will just skip it and come back when I'm finished. Okay, so this is how my character is going to look like. It's kind of interesting that I still remember how she looked after all these years. Now the name I took from my favorite Dark Elf character from the sequel Skyrim, because I have no creativity when it comes to names. Anyways, don't worry about the face because I will play mostly in the first person mode. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so you'll get tutorials as we play.
I must surely be dead, and in the halls of Azura to look upon such a vision. You are so beautiful, my dear Dunmer Maid. One of the guards owes me a favor, you know. I could get us put in the same cell. Would you like that? You should have some fun before the end. Yeah, you heard me. No matter what the law says, no matter what they told you, you're going to die in here. You're going to die. Hey, you hear that? The guards are coming. For you.
Boris, lock that door behind us.
Yes, sir. My sons, they're dead, aren't they?
We don't know that, sire. The messenger only said they were attacked.
No, they're dead. I know it.
My job right now is to get you to safety. What's this prisoner doing here? This cell is supposed to be off limits.
Usual mix-up with the watch.
Never mind. Get that gate open. Stand back, prisoner. We won't hesitate to kill you if you get in our way.
You, prisoner, stand aside. Over by the window. Stay out of the way and you won't get hurt. Prisoner, stand away from the door. Over by the window now. No sign of... Stay put, prisoner.
Good. Let's go. We're not out of this yet.
You. I've seen you. Let me see your face. You are the one from my dreams. Then the stars were right. And this is the day. Gods give me strength. Assassins attacked my sons, and I am next. My blades are leading me out of the city along a secret escape route. By chance, the entrance to that escape route leads through your cell. I am your emperor, Uriel Septim. By the grace of the gods, I serve Tamriel as her ruler. You are a citizen of Tamriel, and you too shall serve her in your own way. Perhaps the gods have placed you here so that we may meet. As for what you have done, it does not matter. That is not what you will be remembered for. You will find your own path. Take care. There will be blood and death before the end.
Please, sire, we must keep moving. Better not close this one. There's no way to open it from the other side.
Looks like this is your lucky
This
day.
doesn't concern you,
Stay
prisoner.
out of our way.
Okay, so right after this introductory part, you can move freely. Now this guy has a different dialogue for every character you create, depending on your race or gender. You can select from two different views. One is the third person and one is the first person. But I will be using the first person, it's much easier. So you can either run or walk. Now I'll show you the menus. Okay. So the first menu you open with F1, and it is your character statistics, essentially your skills, your factions and such. Now the one you open with F2 is your inventory. So you can see we have nothing, essentially. The one with F3 is your spells. We have an Ancestor Guardian spell because of our race. And also the effects that are always active or temporary. And the menu with F4 is the map, like local map, the world map, quest, and such. Okay, so for the first segment of the game, it is linear, and we'll have to follow the Emperor and the bodyguards.
Stand aside, prisoner.
Close up left. Protect the Emperor.
The captain's down.
Are you all right, sire? We're clear for now.
Captain Reno?
She's dead. Sorry, sire, but we have to keep moving. Keep quiet and stay out of the way.
Could they be waiting for
So
us
as you can
here?
see, the situation is not
Oh, no,
very
it's too
good.
late to go back now. Don't worry, sire. We will get you out of here.
They won't be the first to underestimate the Blades. I'll take point. Let's move.
You stay here, prisoner. Don't try to follow us.
Okay, so at this point you get separated from the Emperor. Attacking is very easy, you just do it with your mouse. It's a very recurring theme in Elder Scrolls games that you start as a prisoner. Basically a nobody. Okay, so one thing you can do in this game is that you can loot people's bodies. Which is something you should not do in real life. And okay, so this is something you can do with everybody almost, and it becomes a bit too addictive after a while. Okay, so you can put on the things you find, and as you can see, this is the damage meter. And this is the armor, so we don't have any armor yet. You can cast magic with button C, and it's separate from your weapons. For example, now I have a healing equipped, but we can also have a damaging spell equipped. I will show it later. You can open chests and take items as well. This dungeon serves as a tutorial, essentially. You can also use the bow. But I'm not a big fan of it in this game. So I will be using the sword, mainly. Now there is a lockpicking minigame. So when there is a locked door, you need to play this or use magic or have a key. It's pretty easy. You just have to listen to the sound. Because sometimes when you push the little part of the lock up, you have a different sound. Like there are two sounds, a good and a bad. And if you press it the right time, then you can open it. So it's not that difficult. Okay, let's go to the next room. Okay, we can try the spells, but it's a bit difficult to aim with it. Okay. Okay, so we got some armor as well. There is heavy armor and light armor, and they are separate skills. So it's better to focus on one. But I can't do it yet because I don't have light armor greaves. I remember as a child I was extremely horrified by this scene. Here when the zombie first appeared, I was really afraid. And later on I will cut out most of these dungeons because actually it's more fun to play than to watch. But for the tutorial dungeon, I think it's okay to show the game features. Oh, yes, I forgot. You can actually create hotkeys, like to press the number 1, and then you can. Number 1 is healing, number 2 is damage. It's very convenient. So I will be playing on normal. When I was a child I played on easy, but now it feels it would feel a bit cheap, so let's hope it works out well. One thing you can do with F5 is to do a quick save, and it's very useful. As you can see, the heavy armor skill increased because skills increase as you use them. So if you wear armor and get damage, then it increases. If you use your sword, the skill increases. It's very realistic in this sense. And one other thing I wanted to show is the encumbrance system, which basically means that each item has a weight. And if you go over your maximum weight, then you cannot move anymore. So you have to throw out these things. And it's kind of inconvenient, but once again it's realistic. Now I won't be picking up everything while I'm on this video because it would be really annoying, I think. One thing you can do is to harvest mushrooms, flowers and such. And you will see why that's important later. Unfortunately, it's random whether you find something or not. Right. It's important to pick up everything if you are playing on higher difficulties to build a better character, but I think I will do that mostly off screen. You can sneak, but yeah, I'm not very good at sneaking, so let's just attack. Okay, so first you pick up the Novice Mortal and Pestle, and I will show you the alchemy minigame. You noticed I was picking up all this rat meat and more flesh and stuff, and the reason is that you can use them in potions and poisons. As your alchemy level increases, you will find more effects and create more powerful poisons and potions. And now all these systems are optional, so if you want to use magic, you can be a magician. If you want to do alchemy, you can collect ingredients. The playstyle of this game is very flexible. Personally, I really like collecting ingredients and alchemy, but this is just personal preference. Oh yes, I also forgot to equip the torch. Yes. And perhaps bind it to a quick slot. Alright. You have to look out for traps, because there are several traps in the game, so for example here. Oh, this would be too heavy. If you touch these while these are moving, you get hurt. You can also select the auto attempt, but it will break a lot of lockpicks, especially on earlier levels. Now you can also use traps to your advantage, although of course this dungeon is kind of scripted, they put it here. Oh, I picked up something I shouldn't have. You can just throw them out into the open world, or you can also put it in chests. But when I was a child and when I played this first time, I barely knew how to speak English and I did not understand the tutorials either. So when I got over encumbered, it was horrible. I did not know what to do at all. Most of my fear of playing this game came from the inability to understand these systems. Yes, so this is actually a goblin cave. They are kind of basic enemy types. Yes, this one is worth a lot, so it's okay to keep it. Okay, so I'll show you the repair hammer, which is very important for warrior characters. Your durability, like the equipment's durability, will go down. And you will have to repair it. But on lower levels, the hammers will break, so it's a bit difficult. In the beginning you may have to use the repairman services, although it's better to kind of practice and get better. So you can also jump and increase your acrobatics level, so it's a very funny phenomenon that many players walk around jumping, but of course I will not do this in the video. It's kind of hilarious. Yes, you can see how annoying it would be, although sometimes I may do it instinctively. And we returned.
What makes you think help will get here before more of those bastards? We need
Here
to
they
get
come
the Emperor
again.
out of here.
Now I know I should help them, but actually it's very easy to hit your own allies. And they can get angry and even attack you, although I don't think they will attack you here. But actually it's very annoying
Damn it,
to
it's
fight
the prisoner
besides other
again. Kill
characters.
it. She might be working with the assassins.
No, she is not one of them. She can help us. She must help us. They cannot understand why I trust you. They've not seen what I've seen. How can I explain? Listen, you know the Nine, how they guide our fates with an invisible hand. I've served the Nine all my days, and I chart my course by the cycles of the heavens. The skies are marked with numberless sparks, each a fire, and every one a sign. I know these stars well, and I wonder, which sign marked your birth?